All right, they've recently announced the fourth villain that we'll see in the Age of Apocalypse expansion box, which if you've already been subscribed to this channel and you watch the live streams, we already knew who it was going to be, right? This was no surprise to our community. Everyone in here already knew it was going to be Dark Beast, but now it's official, and now we don't have to speculate about it anymore. We can go check it out. So if you have not hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do so. Hit subscribe, hit like, turn on notifications. Same with the live streams. Make sure you do that too so that you can see the live streams. It's a lot of fun. It's a great time. But like I said, we already knew about this, and you could have already known about this too if you were a member or if you were a subscriber. So anyway, let's go check out the Dark Beast Bogus Journey. All right, I think the name of this is actually really fun with the whole bogus journey thing. I think that's cool. But anyway. Side note. So they announced recently the fourth villain in the box, which was Dark Beast. There was some speculation that maybe he would be the fifth. We were pretty confident in this channel that he was going to be the fourth. The fifth, still on Team Professor X, will be the final one. Though apparently him and Onslaught are like one and the same. I don't know the comics that well. Somebody else can explain it. But Team Professor X, final villain. Anyway, so they do the whole intro thing and whatever, and they got some cool stuff. Okay. So a trip through time. After the third scenario of the campaign, the apocalypse has been defeated. However, the world is still in a chaotic, violent, dystopian state. In order to undo that, our heroes discover a time portal installed beneath the former tyrant's citadel, and they entrust Beast to operate it and hopefully patch up the world. The one problem is it's not their Beast. Oh no. Okay, so here's Beast, right? So here's Dark Beast. So it starts out with 15 hit points, right? 13 cards in his deck, 2/2 stat line. Force interrupt. When Dark Beast attacks you, resolve this special ability in the settings environment. And when revealed, reveal a random setting, a set aside environment, and shuffle the rest of the encounter set into the encounter decks, right? You're gonna see soon that it's gonna key off of these settings that they have, which is a pretty cool idea. It's pretty neat, and we'll get more into it in a second. So he's a loyal servant of Apocalypse, and he plans to use the time portal to bring his master back. Thankfully, our heroes are able to disrupt his plan, but now everyone is careening through time and space. Oh no. Seems that Dark Beast's bogus journey has begun. So main scheme, right? There's only going to be one scheme in this. It's 1B. It's a 10 per player threshold limit. It starts at 1, goes up by 1, which is really interesting. That's like a very... I don't know if easy is the right word, but it's a very fair, right, amount for it to all go up. So, but anyway, there's nothing crazy with it. It's very, very basic. The main scheme is just there. Now, there could be other ways that it increases and all that fun stuff. But just looking at what this is right now, this is a very fair amount. Shouldn't be too hard on the surface. At the beginning of each stage of the scenario, Dark Beast puts a new setting environment in play and mixes its corresponding encounter set into the deck. Each setting represents a different time and place. For example, the Savage Lands. So it's environment, giant dinosaur, team dinosaurs. Let's go. It's a setup card. The villain gains Retaliate 1. Special, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. And then when revealed, discard each other setting environment in play. Right. So it has you facing off against prehistoric threats such as the pterosaur. 034 stat line. When revealed, resolve the special ability on the setting environment. So if you're wondering what this whole special thing was, this one's going to make you discard cards from the top of your deck, kind of making you go through your deck a little bit faster, which is cool. There's 8 cards in the Savage thing, the Savage Lands mod set. If the Savage Land is in play Pterosaur to yourself as a face down encounter card. So it's a boost card. You're going to end up getting that card. So you're not going to be able to work your way around it. You get around a pack, or you can get a pack of Velociraptors, 1/1/3 stat line with Quick Strike. When Velociraptor attacks you, discard the top card of your deck. Velociraptor gets +1 attack for this attack for each resource icon discard this way. So kind of leans into like, Bishop, who's going to have a lot of, resource cards that might have multiple things. I mean, I guess anyone's really running doubles and whatnot. So it could be really bad. It could be 3, 4, whatever on it, or just generally speaking, it'll probably be 2. So then Village Under Attack. Side scheme, Hinder 1. So it's only coming in with, 2 base and Hinder. They're not... One of the things that's been really interesting is for a while now, they have not had on this bottom mount, they don't have it scaling as much with side schemes. They have it more going off the hinder amount, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, when defeated, each player resolves a special ability on the setting environment, so you're going to be discarding cards whether you like it or not. It's got a crisis icon there. Not crisis, the thing that stops you from threading the main scheme. After a bit of time hopping, the heroes may find themselves in Genosha. So it's again a setup card. The villain gains steady. Place one threat in the main scheme. So this is where we kind of alluded to this earlier, that there could be more threat being placed in the main scheme. Something like this would kind of, propel that to go a little bit faster. Our brutal magistrates. There's a 2/2/3 stat line with patrol. The defeating player finds escaped mutant. The defeating player finds escaped mutant and attaches it to their identity, which do they go into? Yeah, they do. Okay. Genosha Mech is a 2/3/5 stat line with guard and toughness. After Genosha Mech attacks and defeats one of your allies, do the special thing, right? They definitely more recently kind of have you not wanting to do chump blocking as much. I'm happy they're not like leaning all the way into it, but it's a good amount so far, which is pretty cool. So escape mutant attached to your identity. Each Genosha minion that engages you gains quick strike, which is terrible. Alter ego action, resolve this special ability in the setting environment and discard this card. It's annoying that you have to be alter ego for this. Just side note, because I don't like cards that make me do that. I mean, I get why it does it, but just let me resolve the special ability, right, and not have to flip down. But that's just a silo. That's personal preference. Another time hop, and you're in the blue area of the moon. Set up, each minion gains guard. Deal 1 damage to your identity, so keep that in mind. And then, discard all those settings and whatnot. So then there's the Gladiator up there. It's a 2/3/6 stat line with teamwork. And we recently talked about teamwork, that they're going to be changing how teamwork works. So I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think now, right, when they come in with teamwork, it's just the one that comes in activates against you, not all the other ones. I think that's what it is now, but they have changed the way teamwork works. We learned from the last video. Or yeah, against Apocalypse. While trial by combat is in play, Gladiator cannot take damage, which stinks a lot. So anyway, we're Gladiator and his team of Imperial Guard minions, which I don't know if that was supposed to be bold or what, because I don't think they talk about that at all. But they talk about trial by combat anyway. Side scheme, again, 2 with hinder 1. It comes with boost icons, and shuffle each Imperial Guard minion into the encounter discard pile, or from the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, right? So you have to face them again. All right, so those are only 2. We don't know if there's going to be a lot more, right? There might be 3 settings, 4 settings, 5 settings. We don't know. Regardless, I do, now that I've gotten better at mixing modular sets into different things, I'm excited for, a wide array of modular sets to be added. Just through my personal growth and personal journey of Marvel Champions, I am excited for that. And they seem cool. They seem cool the way they play off each other. We'll have to see how it actually works in practice, but so far, so good. So naturally, Dark Beast won't simply sit idle by while you journey through time. As you may have noticed, each setting environment has a special ability that can be triggered by various effects, and Dark Beast happily triggers that ability every time he attacks, which stinks. So Dark Beast, yep, and that's not all. Beyond powering himself up with high-tech goggles, so it adds 1 scheme. Dash the hero, exhaust your hero's exhaust your hero and resolve the special ability on the settings environment to discard this card. At least then this is like a nicer way to get rid of an upgrade card like this. That's fine. And then same as that thing right there. Yeah, genetic enhancement is just the attack version of that card. So exhaust your hero, resolve a special ability, discard this card, which is nice. Dark Beast can also beef up minions with cruel experiments. Attached to a minion gains 2 hit points and guard, which I really hate cards that do this. This is like Zola all over again in my mind, because it gets a +1/+1. It's just rough. So when revealed, discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until you discard a minion. Reveal that minion, attach cruel experiment to it. It's also interesting to do it this way, because in the past we've seen cards where it was just like, if you can't attach it, it gains surge, and so you were able to get around some of these bad cards like easier. This one's gonna be harder. Like, you're gonna want this flipped up as a boost, so you can just take the 2 damage or whatever, because this will be rough on some things. So making the threats pop up, temporal escapade even nastier. With all these tricks up his sleeve, it's clear that this is one evil genius you have to take seriously. So treachery card, Dark Beast schemes, give him a tough status if you're an alter ego, or Dark Beast will attack in hero mode, give him an additional boost card. Obviously, he's going to be rough. He's going to be strong. The big thing is that, again, every time he attacks, you do the special environment. We'll have to see what they all are, but so far, discarding cards, taking damage, putting threat in the main scheme. We don't know what else it may be, but it could be probably pretty rough. Those are like the 3 big ones, so it'd be interesting to see if there is a 4th or 5th one. Or maybe it's just 3 modular sets and that's all it's going to be, which is fine too. But yeah, so that's what Dark Beast looks like. And then with this time portal and evil plotting, Dark Beast hopes to undo all your hero's hard work by bringing Apocalypse back into power. You have to work fast in order to stop his malicious mastermind from plunging the world back into chaos. With that, we have covered 4 of the 5 scenarios. Keep your eye out for a look at the campaign's final scenario in the next couple weeks. So we don't know what the last one is. Again, I'm guessing Professor X / Onslaught. That seems to be kind of the running theory. I've seen some people say that it's gonna be a second version of Apocalypse, which could be interesting. Like he brings him back from time. I just don't know the comics well enough, so I don't know if that's like a legit thing or not. But you know, who knows? But I will say Dark Beast with the more modular sets and how it's working, I think him having 15 life isn't too crazy, right? I think that's very manageable. And the main threat having 10 as a threshold is very manageable. Now, of course, the setting environments is going to be the wrench in there that's going to throw this all out of whack, and it can make it really hard or really whatever. And I like that, right? I think it's going to be cool. Anyway, you can really have the villain kind of just change each time. And that's kind of the feeling I'm getting from this, is that it's going to feel very different each time you play it. And this is kind of like Mr. Sinister vibes, right? One of the things I like about Mr. Sinister, I don't love all of his main threats being at like 5 or whatever, and it goes up by 2. It's just like, it's very punishing for solo players. This feels like a better version of Mr. Sinister that's more fair for solo. Right, that's how it feels like to me. Again, we don't know yet because we don't actually have the cards, so I can't compare it all yet. But just from, just a quick eye test, like that's what it looks like to me. And that has me excited, to be honest. It has me excited because, again, I like Mr. Sinister. I'm not here to bash him. He's one of the scenarios I liked more in that last cycle. But it seems like an improved upon, or at least better balanced for solo type of villain. So anyway, those are my general thoughts of him. I think he looks cool. I think he looks fun. I'm hyped for it. So far, pretty much all these villains I think have looked good. Obviously, we'll see once they come out how good it actually is. But I'm excited. I'm excited for what they got stored. And, most likely in about 2 weeks, we'll find out what the last villain is. We'll see who it is. Let me know down in the comments who you think it is. And then after you do that, make sure to head over to twitch.tv/D20 Woodworking and hit the follow button, turn on notifications so you know when I go live. The live streams have been a lot of fun. We can speculate about this stuff because we talk about fun things all the time. So anyway, appreciate everyone being here. Thanks for watching these videos. See you all next time.